Whoa, guys, you are not going to believe this story. It all started with a wedding gift. A very special wedding gift. Picture this. My wedding, beautiful day, amazing. Until she opened her present. My Aunt Mildred, bless her heart, but let's just say her sense of humor is unique. She gave me this. I loved it. It was handmade. It was her. But my new sister-in-law, let's call her Brenda, did not. I mean, the text message still haunts me. OMG, so tacky, it read. Ouch. Right? Total gut punch. I'm talking, tears welling up, questioning my life choices, kind of ouch. Brenda and I, we'd never exactly been besties, but wow, that stung. This is where things get really interesting. This wasn't just about a silly wedding gift, you see. This was about feeling undervalued, dismissed. It fueled something inside me. A crazy, impulsive, maybe slightly petty, but oh so satisfying idea. I'm going to show you guys the house now. This little gem right here. It's next door to Brenda's. Yep, I bought it. Finding it, getting the mortgage approved, the whole process was a roller coaster. There were paperwork nightmares, stressful inspections, and the realtor kept suggesting beige paint. Beige. But honestly, the whole thing was weirdly therapeutic. Every step was a small act of rebellion, a tiny "take that" to Brenda's tacky comment. And it only cost me, let's just say a few months' worth of therapy sessions. The confrontation? Well, there wasn't much of one. Brenda's face, seeing me moving in next door, was priceless. I have photographic evidence. We've exchanged a few polite nods since then. Awkward nods. So, what did I learn? Well, definitely don't underestimate the power of a well-placed real estate purchase. And maybe don't read text messages from your in-laws right after opening wedding gifts. But honestly, I'm not regretting anything. This whole experience has been a lesson in setting boundaries and maybe a tiny bit of revenge. Subscribe for more crazy stories. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So you saw the title, right? She said my wedding gift was tacky, so I bought her house next door. Let me tell you, this story is wild. It all started with a perfectly normal wedding gift. Or so I thought. We're diving straight into it, folks. This is the part where I unleash the, unique gift. Okay, let's talk about this masterpiece. I spent weeks on this. It's a hand-carved wooden cuckoo clock shaped like a squirrel wearing a top hat. Why a squirrel? Because the groom, Mark, loves squirrels. The clock itself is antique. I found it at a flea market. I thought it was hilarious and totally perfect for their quirky farmhouse. It's super sentimental because I spent hours restoring it, remembering Mark and Sarah's eccentric personalities. It was from the heart. Boom! There it is, the evidence. The dreaded tacky text. I was honestly crushed. My heart sank. Hours of work. A carefully considered gift. Reduced to tacky. I know. I should have just let it go. But this wasn't just about the clock. It was about feeling completely dismissed. My feelings were hurt. It made me seriously question our friendship. This is where things get really interesting. I couldn't just wallow in hurt feelings, so I did something unexpected. I decided to buy the house next door to them. Yes, you heard that right. I bought the house. It was on the market for a while, and I figured, why not? The process was eventful. The realtor thought I was joking at first. The closing was a whirlwind of paperwork and surprisingly strong coffee. And let me tell you, the mortgage payments are significant. But worth it? You'll see. I'll be honest, part of me did it just to be close enough to witness their reaction to my countergift. The confrontation, or lack thereof, was priceless. Their faces, priceless. We'll just say things are interesting between us now. So, what have I learned? Maybe not to give such unique wedding gifts, and definitely not to underestimate the power of a perfectly executed, albeit slightly passive-aggressive, house purchase. But hey, at least I have a great story to tell. And a new neighbor. What's up next? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next crazy adventure. And until next time, peace out. Okay, so the text message landed. Boom. Tacky. Just like that. My carefully chosen, heartfelt wedding gift, dismissed in one cold, single word. My stomach dropped. Seriously, I felt a physical punch. It wasn't just about the gift itself, you know? It was the sheer disrespect. The complete lack of consideration for the thought and effort I'd put in. Tears welled up. I paced. I replayed the message in my head. Again and again. Anger simmered. Then a strange thing happened. A slow burn of determination. This wasn't just about proving her wrong. It was deeper than that. It was about reclaiming my own power, about showing myself that I wouldn't let someone's petty judgment dictate my happiness. An idea sparked. A crazy, impulsive, totally satisfying idea. I'd seen the for sale sign next door for weeks. A cute little house, a bit run down maybe, but with potential. Potential to become my own little kingdom of awesome, directly adjacent to the source of my hurt feelings. The thought, initially shocking, settled into a quiet thrill. I wasn't just buying a house, I was buying a statement. A big, bold, I don't care what you think statement. It was a ridiculous, extravagant reaction, I'll admit. But in that moment, the sheer audacity of it felt liberating. The anger was transforming into fuel. Fuel to do something incredible, something unexpected, something that would make me feel powerful again. The next few days were a blur of mortgage applications, property inspections, and the exhilarating rush of making an offer. This was more than a house. It was therapy. And it was going to be amazing. Guys, so the insult stung, really stung, but the plan was forming. Revenge. Sweet revenge. First, the realtor. Oh boy, the realtor. Let's just say finding a house next door to her was harder than finding a unicorn riding a unicycle. Seriously, this wasn't some cookie-cutter suburban dream. This was a mission. We're talking weeks of scrolling through listings, battling other buyers, and enduring more open houses than I care to remember. Remember that charming little bungalow with the wonky porch? Nope. Snatched up before I could blink. The one with the overgrown ivy? Already sold. I was starting to think my plan was doomed until she appeared. It wasn't love at first sight, but it had potential. A little fixer-upper, definitely. But with my vision, it could be amazing. The price? Let's just say it was a significant chunk of change. But hey, consider it a very expensive, I told you so. The mortgage application process alone was a sitcom waiting to happen. Mountains of paperwork, so many questions. I swear the bank manager started to feel like a therapist, listening to me rant about a tacky wedding gift and a revenge house purchase. It was insane. The inspection was a comedy of errors, too. Remember the squirrel in the attic? Classic. But hey, the house passed inspection. And now, look at this. My very own little kingdom next door. Think of it, the perfect vantage point to observe everything. All thanks to a wedding gift that was apparently too tacky. The irony, of course, is not lost on me. This wasn't about the money. It was about proving a point. About showing that maybe, just maybe, my taste is a little more unique than her limited understanding could comprehend. And, of course, it's a pretty sweet house. Stay tuned to see what happens next. Okay, guys, so we've reached the moment you've all been waiting for, the confrontation. After dropping a serious chunk of change on that house next door, remember that stunning kitchen? It was time to finally see Brenda's face. I mean, the woman called my meticulously handcrafted, vintage-inspired cheese slicer tacky. Tacky. Now, I had a few scenarios planned. A dramatic doorstep showdown, a passive-aggressive wave, maybe even a perfectly timed oops, wrong house, as I dramatically, accidentally, backed my moving truck into her mailbox. Just kidding, mostly. But here's the thing. Brenda vanished. Poof, gone. Like a magician's assistant, except instead of a sparkly box, she left behind an awkward silence and a half-eaten plate of what I suspect was a suspiciously lumpy quiche. I knocked. I rang the doorbell. I even considered leaving a note on her suspiciously pristine doorstep. A note detailing the superior craftsmanship of my cheese slicer naturally, but nothing. No response, no angry shouts, no frantic apologies, just nothing. I have a theory. Maybe the sight of my moving truck, that monstrous beast carrying all my furniture and a very real sense of impending doom, scared her off. Or maybe she's finally realized that a truly classy woman appreciates artisanal cheese slicing technology. Either way, my triumph felt a little anticlimactic, like winning a staring contest with an empty room. So, no epic confrontation, no fiery exchange, just the quiet victory of owning the house next door. And, yeah, I still have the cheese slicer. It's on display, prominently, of course, next to a framed copy of the text message she sent. A constant, cheesy reminder of this whole ridiculously funny saga. Guys, so it's been a few weeks now. A few wild weeks. Remember that tacky wedding gift? Well, let's talk about the aftermath, the fallout, if you will. Living next door to Karen. Deborah has been interesting, to say the least. Initially, radio silence. Complete and utter ghosting. Not a peep. It was almost unsettling. The awkwardness was palpable. I half expected to see her peeking through the blinds, clutching a pearl necklace, every time I mowed the lawn. But then, something shifted. Small gestures, you know. A hesitant wave from across the street. An accidental hello as we both reached for the same mailbox. Baby steps. I think she's still processing the whole bought the house next door thing. I'm not sure she can believe I actually did it. Honestly, neither can I sometimes. What have I learned? Well, for starters, never underestimate the power of petty revenge. Okay, maybe that's a little dark, but let's be real. It felt incredibly satisfying. More importantly, I've learned that sometimes standing up for yourself, even in a ridiculously over-the-top way, can be surprisingly liberating. I never thought I'd be the type to buy a house out of spite, but here we are. This whole experience has shown me how important it is to be confident in your choices, even when others criticize them. Deborah's opinion of my gift was hurtful, of course, but it doesn't define me or my taste. This whole situation, as crazy as it is, has boosted my confidence levels through the roof. It's also made me realize that sometimes the best revenge truly is a well-placed house, and maybe a slightly quieter, more private life. Although, now I wonder what her reaction will be to my next-door Christmas light display. Stay tuned. So we've journeyed together through this wild ride. Remember that stunning antique clock I gifted? The one I poured my heart and soul into finding? Yeah, that clock. The one deemed tacky. Ouch, right? We saw the sting of that text message, the hurt, the initial disbelief. Then came the brilliant, slightly insane, totally satisfying idea. Buying the house next door. We toured that gorgeous property. Remember the charming porch swing, the surprisingly spacious garden? The whole process, from the frantic house hunting to the surprisingly smooth closing, was a whirlwind. It was expensive, yes, but it was worth every penny to witness the look on her face. The confrontation? Let's just say it spoke volumes. Her silence was deafening. It was the ultimate silent oops, a testament to the consequences of her hasty judgment. Things are interesting next door. Let's just leave it at that. The whole experience, from the initial insult to the house purchase, has been a lesson in standing up for myself. It taught me the value of self-worth and the importance of not letting others dim my shine. Ultimately, this whole saga proves one thing. Sometimes the best revenge is a really, really nice house right next to your critic. It's a bit petty, I'll admit it, but hey, it's also incredibly satisfying. So, what do you think? Did I overreact? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more of my questionable life choices. Seriously though, hit that subscribe button and let's stay connected. And if you're thinking about buying a house next to someone who insulted your wedding gift, let's chat. See ya in the next video. YouTube fam, thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride. So, we've gone from a seemingly innocent wedding gift to a full-blown real estate saga. Who knew a hand-carved, vintage badger-shaped butter dish could cause such a commotion? Remember that text? Tacky. Ouch. But hey, at least it sparked some serious drama, and a pretty sweet revenge story, if I do say so myself. Seriously, though, don't try this at home. Unless, of course, your neighbor deserves a taste of their own medicine. What's that you say? I'm teaching a masterclass in passive-aggressive home buying? Maybe one day. For now, let's recap. Subscribe for more real-life, crazy neighbor stories. You won't want to miss those. Hit that like button if you're living for the petty revenge. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok for behind-the-scenes shenanigans and even more updates on my new next-door neighbor. We're already planning a neighborhood barbecue. Or maybe not. She's still a little frosty. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya in the next video.